We are joined today by Kerry Scholes, Managing Director of Sovereign Trust Isle of Man. She is visiting South Africa as part of an initiative to strengthen business ties with South Africa and to promote the trust and company services offered by the Isle of Man. Also with us today is Corine van der Merwe, Director of Sovereign Trust South Africa. Kerry, we look forward to spending time with you in the Winelands and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for hosting me.
Kerry, your visit comes at a time where the business relationship between South Africa and the Isle of Man is receiving renewed attention. Why are you visiting here and what is the purpose of your visit?
So we are very blessed in the Isle of Man to have quite a large existing South African client base, be they resident or non-resident. I'm here to continue strengthening those relationships, but also to meet potential new clients and also the tax advisors here as well.
Kerry, for South Africans who are not familiar with the Isle of Man as a financial centre, what makes it such a compelling choice to set up offshore structures?
So the Isle of Man have very strong and robust company and trust legislation. We are politically and economically stable. We are a highly regulated jurisdiction, so we've got credibility globally.
Well, that's very good to know. Apart from setting up structures in the Isle of Man, is there any other jurisdictions that you cover?
Yes, so we can assist with structuring in the US, in the Caribbean, and of course, Sovereign are part of a large group, so we can work with other offices to provide bespoke structuring as per the requirements of the client.
So we know that you guys can set up companies and trusts. What other structures do you set up in the Isle of Man?
So we can set up foundations, pensions, partnerships, protected cell companies, family office arrangements.
Well, that is quite a wide variety that you've got to offer. I want to come back to the trust option, trust structuring. In South Africa, that is a type of entity that pays tax at really high rates. My understanding is that it's the complete opposite in the Isle of Man. Can you explain to us what a South African would and can expect when setting up an offshore trust from a tax perspective?
So that's correct, it is very tax favourable. So as long as money hasn't been generated within the Isle of Man and they aren't Isle of Man resident, they won't pay income tax, there's no inheritance tax, there's no capital gains tax, and there's no withholding tax on dividends or distributions.
You have an extremely favourable tax regime, but I have to ask the question, if these entities do not pay tax, what is the economic benefit for the Isle of Man and why would they allow it?
So financial services is one of the biggest employment areas on the Isle of Man. We're a population of about 85,000. We only have unemployment of about 181 people. So obviously everybody that works is paying tax. Banks, insurance firms, they do pay tax. And regulated entities, we pay tax, we pay national insurance, etc.
Okay, that makes sense. I want to come back to the trust again. Clearly, I've got to be in my bonnet. For trust to work for South Africans, who come back to South Africa after working abroad, it's ideal that they set up these trusts before they become SA tax resident again. If you consider that South Africans would be setting these up during the age, or maybe starting at the age of 35 and upwards, these trusts need to last for a long time. In what way can trustees on the Isle of Man support you considering the length of time that a trust needs to last?
So trusts as an entity are bespoke and tailored to the requirements of the settlor and of the beneficiaries. So whilst you have wealth preservation and succession planning, we can also, during the lifetime of the trust, provide for minor beneficiaries with education and maintenance. Nest eggs can be built up for when perhaps the beneficiaries are no longer working. They have access to funds within the trust, and we're able to diversify the assets as well. So there's very few things that couldn't be held or wouldn't be suitable for a trust arrangement.
That's very good to know, because I think the misconception out there is that it's a very strict vehicle, which it is in a sense, but what I get from you is that you can adapt as time goes on with the family to suit their needs, and that is quite
That's
comforting
correct.
to know. Kerry, so I think we all agree the Isle of Man is a well-recognised international financial services centre, but other than that, what does the Isle of Man have to offer?
So the Isle of Man is a little hidden gem. We're famous for a lot of things, but a lot of people have never heard of us. We're famous for the Isle of Man TT, which started in 1907.
If you're a big fan, huh?
I am. It's an open road race that goes on for 2 weeks, involving motorcycles going at sort of 200 miles per hour.
Wow.
We are a fully UNESCO country, and we are blessed to have an infinite amount of pubs.
Well, on that note, seeing that we are in the winelands, I think it's time for that glass of wine. Kerry, thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure to have you here, and we wish you all the best with your visit to South Africa.
Thank you so much for having me.